ऋषिभ्यो नमः परमऋषिभ्यां। हरि ओम। अंतरायतिमिरोपशान्ते शान्तपावनमचिन्त्य वैभवं तन्नरं वपुषि कुञ्जरं मुखे मन्महे किमपि तुन्दिलं नमः। यस्यान्तर्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नामगोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो नानपुंसं न च स्त्रीं नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वर्षिष्ठान्तेव सदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वेदान्तार्थविभासकायेतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयम्। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। कस्मै येन विभासितो यमतुलो ज्ञानप्रदीपः पुराम् तद्रूपेण च नारदाय मुनये कृष्णाय तद्रूपिणां योगीन्द्राय तदात्मनाथ भगवद्राताय कारुण्यतः तच्छुद्धं विमलं विशोकम् अमृतं सत्यं परं धीमहि। धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवतं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्। श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यते त्रिकृतिभिः शुश्रूषिभिस्तक्षणात्। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबद भागवतं रसम्। आलयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव। पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिम् आनतोऽस्मि। यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षदां तमोन्धं संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य Naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayed Sachidanandarupaya vishvotpatyadihetaveem Tapatraya vinashaya Shri Krishnaya vayam numaham Yontaf pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam Sanjeevayatyakila shaktidhara swadhamnam Anyamsha hastacharana-shravanatvagadin Pranannamo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Yogesha Yoga Vinyasa Yogatman Yoga Sambhava Nishreyasaya me proktaha Tyagas Sannyasa Lakshanaha Tyagoyam dushkaro bhuman kamanam vishayatmabhihi Sutaram tvai sarvatman abhaktaihi iti me matihi. Yesterday we saw how Bhagavan Krishna gave the highest teaching to Uddhava. Uddhava is a great bhakta. The sign of a real bhakta is that he always feels that he has no bhakti. If you are feeling I have bhakti, there is something wrong. A true bhakta always feels I have no bhakti. One of Sri Ramakrishna's chief disciples, Swami Abhedananda, who lived longer than many of other disciples. He did some missionary work in West. After that he came back to Bengal. By the time the teaching has spread far and wide, many youngsters have come, taken to sannyas, and they were all there studying the shastras, doing japa, dhyana. Seeing that, Abhedananda Swami wrote a verse. I don't exactly remember the verse. One line only I remember. He says, O Ramakrishna, listening to your stories, the new devotees who have not even seen you, they have so much bhakti. But we have lived with you, seen you, served you, but we do not have that bhakti. Shrutva ete bahu bhakti yuktaha Drishtvapi vayam nacha bhakti yuktaha. Although we have seen you, we do not have bhakti. The very statement that I do not have bhakti can come only from bhakti. When Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, I do not have love. Anbili Arunachala, he says, Arunachala, I have no no bhakti. The bhakti means you should melt like a wax put in fire. Ajan meluha yahattunai ninaindu naindu urugum anbili yanak. I have no anbu, I have no love. I am not melting like a wax put in fire. Anbinai aruladu aandanai azhittidal alago. Without giving me that bhakti, you have taken me as your slave. But without giving true spiritual experience, if you leave me, my life will be, he says, it will stand like Ashoka pillar, declaring that Arunachala has failed. It will be a propagating pillar where it will be written, this man failed in his spiritual life because of his Ishta Devata or his Guru. Ippazhitappu. If you want to escape from this blame, you have to rescue me. Give me bhakti. And my heart should constantly melt. And I should have the true spiritual experience. Bhakti also means jnanam. Bhakti is not simply emotion alone. Firm abidance in one's real nature is bhakti. constant absorption, delight in the self, Atmaratihi, Atmakridaha, Atmamithunaha, Atmanandaha, that is bhakti. In such a state, the ego completely goes and the mind no more runs after sensory objects. Uddhava says, Bhagavan, without true bhakti it is not possible. Sannyasa means it is not in the dress, it is not in the form. Tyaga is needed. How can I attain that tyaga? Tyagoyam dushkaro bhuman. It is very difficult to find the true renunciation. Kamanam vishayatmabhihi. All this vishaya kamana, this desire for the objects should go from me. Sudaram tvai sarvatman abhaktaihi iti mematihi. I am abhakta. Why do you say I am abhakta? Deva says, because I have still the feeling mine. As long as I am carrying this is mine, suffering will come. As long as I declare I, suffering will come. Soham mamaham iti moodhamatir vigadha tvanmayaya virachitatmani sanubandhe tatvanjasa nigaditam. O Lord, you spoke so easily, as if it is the simplest thing. A person went to learn swimming and he contacted a great swimmer. He asked how to swim. That person jumped into the river and started swimming. This is how you have to swim. For him it is so easy. The other person was also tried. Now you can imagine what will happen. So once you are a master in meditation, once you know how to remain in that state where the I does not operate, where you feel yourself as the absolute, the Purna, nothing touches you. But for the disciple who is longing to attain that state, he is seeing the spiritual height of the Guru, and he is also aware of his state where he is fallen. Tadu anjasa nigaditam. You have told as if it is the simplest thing. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, Aye ati sulabham atma vidya. This atma jnana is so easy, so simple. It is not anything difficult because Atman is your own self. How can there be difficulty in attaining one's own real nature? You need not even attain it. You have to just recognize that what is in you as your own existence is Satchidananda, is Purnavastu. That Pratyabhijna, that recognition has to come. It is that simple. But the disciple says, my mind is not able to understand it. I am not able to stay there. Katham samsadhayami bhagavan anushadhi bhrityam. I am your servant. Teach me. I don't find any other teacher equal to you. Satyasyate. Very beautiful slokas. That is why I am chanting all these verses again and again. Satyasyate swadrisha atmana atmanonyam. Even if you don't understand the slokas, it does not matter. Just the very language, the very shabda is samadhi. Bhagavata has another name. The name is Samadhi Bhasha. The very language is of the language of Samadhi. Satyasyate swadrisha atmana atmanonyam vaktaramisha vibhudeshvapinanu chakshe sarve vimohita dhiyaham tavamaya brahmadayasthanubhruto bahirartha bhavaha tasmad bhavantam anavadyamanantaparam sarvajñam ishvaram akuntha vikuntha dhishnyam nirvinnadhihi ahamuha vrijinabhitapto Narayanam Narasakham Sharanam Prapadye. I surrender to you. You are my only companion. You are my partner. Narayanam Narasakham. Bhagavan is the best friend. He is always with you. When you need help, then only he will speak. He will not simply always blah blah, no. When you really need his help, then you will hear his voice. The Maunam will speak then. That is what Bhagavad Gita is. Sakha Sakayam Abravit. A friend spoke to another friend. So here Uddhava also asked Bhagavan, and Bhagavan again continuing to teach Uddhava. And Bhagavan said, Hey Uddhava, now you are ready to receive the highest wisdom. As I told you yesterday, we chanted a verse. There are two kinds of spiritual aspirants. One group are those who first engage in world, do some job. In between, they also come to satsanga. They also could be serious also. The time that they get to do sadhana is very little. And another group is there, those who have renounced everything. For the sake of Bhagavan, they have burnt their boats. They have completely come out, renounced everything. For such people, the Upadesha is, they should not be again asked to involve themselves in the world. They also should have some engagement. What kind of engagement they will have? They should have japa, dhyana, sadgrantha parayana, satsanga, pranayama. Shivanji Maharaj has given so much to engage with. He has spoken about all kind of sadhanas. If you feel like japashrandah punardhyayet, dhyanashrandah punarjabet, Shastra Padam Chakuryat. For some time you do japa, sometime you dhyana, sometimes reading some good books, sometimes you get some time to engage with satsanga. Jabadhyanadi yuktasya prasidati parashivaha. A person who constantly engages in japa, dhyana, meditation, satsanga, and service to devotees, sadhu seva, then the mind becomes pure and meditation becomes successful, and slowly that state of samadhi, that Atmanubhava will come. Hence, Bhagavan told, don't have any involvement with the worldly activities. And some very beautiful instructions are given. Yamana bhikshnam seveta niyamana matparaha kvachit. Sometimes, there are Yoga Shastra says about Yama Niyama. Yama consists of Sarvabhauma Mahavratam. In whatever religion you are born, wherever you are, you should stick to truth, ahimsa, karuna, daya. All these things are needed. Brahmacharya. These are all very important. So you should stick to Yama. Niyama means, south, we will not wear all this kind of dress. And especially in Kerala, we will take bath thrice. Sometimes more also. And we will take dip and bath. We can do it in Ganga also, but in such a climate, only one day we can do. So sometimes you go to some other area, you have to wear dress, you have to wear shirt. Last about 2009 or 2010 November, we had a satsang in Haridwar. From there we went to Badri. November, it will be very cold. And people who came with us, most of them are coming for the first time. And they are all from Kerala. So first we entered Badri. And I am going there for third time or fourth time. So I was a little bit cautious. But suddenly I saw all these people who came down from the bus, entered the satram where we were going to stay. They all took a towel and going for bath in Alakananda. Very fast they were going. I was wondering what titiksha. No affectation of cold, nothing affects them such. I was a little proud that only people from Kerala can do this. So they were all going for taking bath, but within 5 minutes, the speed with which they go, with the same speed they came back. Because they only went outside the lodge. By the time they understood, they will freeze. So they all came back. So in the name of sadhana, don't become unintelligent. That is what, very beautiful instruction. Yaman abhikshnam seveta, niyaman matparah kvachit, ahimsadin abhikshnam adarena seveta. That inner qualities, you should not compromise. You should always hold on to that inner qualities like truth. It is not that in Rishikesh you should be very truthful. In Delhi you can give up truth. That is what people do. That you should not do. Ahimsa also you should stick. Brahmacharya also you should stick. Hold on to. So these things are very important. But taking outer things like bathing or wearing dress in this way or that way, these things change according to the place. Niyaman matparah kvachit. So, yatha shakti, tada atmajnana avirodhena. That is what Sridharacharya says. You can take to any kind of achara, but the achara should not obstruct your self-realization, your self-knowledge. If it makes you more and more body-minded, sometimes people take to naturopathy living. That is very good. That is very helpful to spiritual life. If you stick to natural way of living, that is very good. But sometimes they become fanatic of Prakriti Chikilsa. They also become fanatic there and become too body-minded. Sometimes their good practices becomes a hurdle to their Atma Jnana. So that should not happen. You can take any sadhana, Atmarati avirodheneti shandilya. In Narada Bhakti Sutra, Narada says, take any bhakti sadhana, any puja, anything you can do, but it should not be Atmarati virodha. It should not be against your abidance in yourself. Sometimes too much engagement with outer things, and your inner conscience says, I want to be quiet, simple, still. Give always importance to the inner one. Give always importance to the inner experience. So this is the very beautiful Upadesha that Krishna gave. Then he said, give respect to all. Be free of mindness and be a friend of all. Amani amatsaro daksho nirmamo drida sauhridaha asatvaro artha jijnasuhu anasuyuhu amoghavaak. When you go to a guru, you should be very, very disciplined and wait to get the teaching from him. And generally people will go from a family life. So know how to be detached there, otherwise no spirituality will work. Jayapatya grihakshetra swajanadravinaadishu udasina samam pashyan sarveshu arthamivatmanaha. How should I live in the world? Bhagavan gave a name, a word, udasina. I said, yesterday that doll, which always says yes, yes, yes. Like that, don't get attached to anything. Just be a watcher. Things will happen around you. Don't involve yourself. Train yourself to be a witness of everything. Don't involve yourself. And then approach the master. Jignasa, the inquisitiveness to know the self. And slowly attain the knowledge of the self. He will give you the teaching that what you consider yourself, you are not. You think you are the body? You are not the body. The body is constantly changing, and the body never says I. Now, the medical science is taking every limb out. Liver, kidney, heart, even brain. Everything they are taking, transplanting things. But the I remains same. Actually, medical science is teaching us Vedanta. Neti, 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 neti. Not this, not this, not this. The body is not you. The liver is not you, because you can have another person's liver. The kidney is not you, you can have another person's kidney. Actually, they say every limb can be transplanted. They have not become successful completely, but you can have another body also. But the I will remain. So the I, what is that I? What is that magic word inside you? I. You more and more pay attention to that I. That is true jijnasa. Outwardly, when you go to know the Atman, the self, the teacher turns your mind inward. He tells you, find out what is inside. Who is asking this question? Who is inside that body? Ena rupam, rasam, gandham, shabdan, sparshanscha, maithunan, etenaiva vijanati, kimatra parishishyate, edat vaitad. That which is inside the body, which is seeing through the eyes, listening through the ears, smelling through the nose, tasting through the tongue, feeling through the skin. What is that? For all these things you can only have one answer, that is I. And what is that I? Then slowly you know the real nature of the I, pay attention to it, and remove your ignorance, mindness associated with the body and mind. Sangamya nirased etat vastu buddhim yathakramam. Gradually remove the ignorance from the mind. You cannot always do it by meditation. See, there is a special power when a Brahmatvit speaks. And there is also a special power when a true, genuine, longing, yearning disciple listens. When a teacher who has himself experienced the truth speaks, the very voice is very important. Bhagavata says, Jnanena Vaiyasaki Shabditena. Parikshit had many teachers, but for him to get liberated, he had to get it in the Shabda of Shukacharya. Jnanena Vaiyasaki Shabditena, in the voice of Shukacharya. Bheje Khagendra Dhvajapadamulam. So too, when a very, very, very ripe person listens, sometimes one word from the master can work miracles. One word, just once you listen, your attention is absolutely inward turned, and you recognize that chit, that pure awareness within you, that consciousness within you, You recognize it as the divine, the bodiless, the mindless, the egoless, that Purnavastu. Just as you have the experience in deep sleep. Every day we go to that state where there is no body, where there is no mind, where there is no ego, only happiness. And everyone wish to go there. And you wake up and you say, I was happy. What is that state? That state every day reveals what is underneath, behind the mind, behind the ego. Even when the ego subsides, the self remains. It's a great revelation. Deep sleep is a great revelation. It is a universal revelation. The teacher is every day giving you experience of Brahman, Brahma Sampatti. But we fail to recognize it. The outer teacher again comes to you and tells you that what you are seeking is already there in you. You are that Tattvamasi. You are not the body or mind. What is within you is that pure consciousness which is ever free. These words of the Master, the disciple listens, and once he listens, some contemplation happens. But when we go to world, back to our family, slowly that fuel will become less and less and less. Energy will go down. This meditation will also disappear. Then again you need that companionship of the teacher. Again you go and listen. He throws some energy at you and you also receive it with an inner power. A churning happens. Some attrition happens inside. It's actually a churning. That is what perhaps Gopikas, they did, that churning. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So this is the churning that we have to do. Acharyo araniraadya syad ante vasyuttararanihi vidya tatsandhanam pravachanam vidya sandhihi sukhavah. Arani means in the Agnihotra ritual, they will not use matchbox, even now. They will churn two arani sticks, and from that they will make fire. In Yaga they do that. Even now they do that. So this is the method of churning the fire sticks and bringing out fire. The friction between two that wooden edges, it creates fire. Like that, the teacher and the disciple, the contact creates some mysterious heat. And fire is born. Fire of knowledge is born. Acharya purva rupam ante vasyuttara rupam vidya sandhihi pravachanagum sandhanam ityadhi vidyam. The Upanishad says Acharya is on the one side and the Antevasi, the disciple, is on the other side. Between them, the dialogue happens. Or simply the talk of the Acharya happens and the disciple listens it with so much attention because he is like a Chataka bird ready to drink from that celestial shower, that Akasha Ganga. So, tat sandhanam pravachanam, and from there knowledge arises like fire. Once that fire arises, once that fire blazes forth, it burns the Acharya, it burns the disciple, it burns the world. Nothing, no duality continues, only that absolute oneness, that Advaitatma Bhava. No? Shankaracharya, when he went to his teacher, he was only 8 years old. And he walked almost 2000 kilometers or 3,000, I don't know how many kilometers from Kerala to Madhya Pradesh. So much distance he walked. And he was a boy. What made him walk? Just he listened from Kerala that a real enlightened master is there on the bank of Narmada. He could have got many scholars in his own place. Mighty scholars might have been there, but he heard that a teacher who has come in the right parampara, who is a Sakshatkrita Atma, a Brahmanishtha. So I will walk to him. There was such a push from him, a pull from the teacher. So he walked all the distance. By walking about 3 months or 4 months, he reached Narmada banks. He got, of course, some help from some local people. They took the child, the boy, to that great master, Govinda Bhagavat Pada. He was then staying in a cave, and Shankara, this boy, went to him and did a namaskar. And the story goes, the teacher looked at the child with compassion. He was like a flame, like a fire, blazing fire of Vairagya. The teacher looked at him, perhaps even by that one look he would have got it, because he was Avatar Purusha. So he asked him, "Who are you, my child?" He asked him, "Who are you?" And Shankara did not say, "I am Shankara, I am coming from Kerala," all these ID card details, no Aadhaar card, nothing. When he asked, "Who are you?" he said, "I am not this body. I am that truth which shines forth even in deep sleep. That which is changeless in the waking state, in the dream state, in the deep sleep state. Na bhumir na toyam na tejo na vayuhu na kham nendriyam va na tesham samuha anaikantikatvat sushuptyeka siddha tadego vasishta shivah kevaloham." And there also he says, "Now in my state there is neither teacher nor disciple nor this world. Na shastram, na shasta, na shishyo, na shiksha. Na chatvam, na chaham, na chayam prapancha. Neither you exist nor I, not even this world. Swarupa avabodhaha, that pure awareness of the self. The Swarupa is there. Vikalpa asahishnuhu, no duality exists. No conflicting thing exists. Stadeko vasishta shiva kevaloham. Such awareness happens when the real listening, shravana, manana, nididhyasana happens with the teacher. When that knowledge arises, it just cleanses the person completely. Vaisharadi sati vishuddha buddhi. Very beautiful shloka. There is a name for Divine Mother, Sharada. Why is she called Sharada? Because she is that knowledge of Brahman. And here it says, Vaisharadi sati vishuddha buddhi dhunoti mayam gunasam prasutam. Once that knowledge arises in the heart, it just washes clean all the flaws created by Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, Tamo Guna, ego, mindness, everything is gone. Even this waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, everything is gone. Only one truth remains. Gunamsha sandahya yadatmametat swayam cha shamyati asamit yathagnihi. Just as all the samit, the fuel is burnt, the fire goes down. Like that, once the truth is attained, the meditative state also reaches its culmination. Then all this process comes to an end and he becomes a Jivan Mukta. And the Jivan Mukta behaves like a child. He becomes so natural, so normal, and he looks at everyone as the Atman. knows that now there is no ignorant person. He looks at everyone as the self. He becomes the friend of all. Sarva bhuta suhrit. Only a true jnani can be a friend of the all. Shivanji Maharaj was like that. He had no Bheda Buddhi. He never even considered disciples, students, his disciples as something separate from him. I have told many times before also, many disciples had the same experience. Sometimes they will come for the first time to see Shivanandaji Maharaj, and they will not be knowing who is Swami Shivananda. So they will come and ask Swamiji, we want to meet Shivananda Swamiji. And you know what will happen? He will do a big namaskara to them. And he will stand like this, what service I can do? I am Swami Shivananda. And that would have been a great shock for them. Because they have come to meet their Guru, and here they find that Guru is doing a namaskara. So that is the way that he entered the heart of all. He was a friend of all. Sarva bhuta suhrit. That is a very beautiful adjective given to a jnani. Sarva bhuta suhrit. A companion, a friend of all. Although he also lives like anyone in the body, he remains unattached. He is not bound by anything because he has gone beyond all the vikalpas. Yavat syad gunavaishamyam tavat nanatvam atmanaha nanatvam atmano yavat paratantriyam tadaivahi. These slokas are all very, very profound slokas. Very Vedantic slokas. And we have already had our upasana of roti, dal, khichdi, everything is gone inside. Annam hi praninam jeshtam. After that, when we listen to Vedanta, we will perfectly understand Sushupti. We will perfectly understand Sushupti. What is Sushupti? But still that is our time now. So, Nanatvam. As long as you have Nanatvam means you see everything different. As long as you see everything as different, you are bound. When you see everything as one, that one alone exists, ekameva advitiyam, then you will be free. That is Bhagavatam. It's pure Advaita. Sarva Vedanta Saram yad Brahmatma Ikatva Lakshanam Vastu Advitiyam Tannishtham Kaivalyayika Prayojanam. This is Bhagavata Phalashruti. Sarva Vedanta Saram, the essence of all the Vedanta Shastras put together. Brahmatmaikatva Lakshanam, no place to doubt. What is the teaching of Bhagavata? Brahmatmaikatva Lakshanam, to tell you what you experience within you as Atma is Brahman. One of the great devotees of Maharashtra, Namadeva, in one of his Abhang, he says, O Panduranga, Vithala, all these days, I was thinking that within me, the I is me. Now by the grace of my Guru, I recognize that the I in me is you. How beautiful it is, see? All these days, I was thinking what is felt within me as my own consciousness, as I am. It is this so-called person. But now my teacher has come and revealed to me the secret that what is in me as I am, it is you, Vithala. Means it is the infinite, it is peace, it is bliss, it is unconditionally free. It is Brahman. So that kind of experience, recognition of the truth, happens by the grace of Guru. Guru Kripa Anjana Payo Mere Bai. As Kabir says, when you have that Anjana means there is a magical collyrium. That is what they call collyrium. A kind of ointment, if you put it in the eyes and you look, you can see buried gold. Don't ask me where you will get it. I don't know. But the real Anjana is, Kabir says, it is Guru Kripa, the grace of Guru. You wear that collyrium in your eyes and you look at everyone, all these bodies sitting before me. I develop an X-ray vision. Through those eyes, through these bodies, I see Bhagavan is sitting. It is not women, it is not men, it is not boys, it is not girls, it is not old people or young people. Tvam stri, tvam pumanasi, tvam kumara utava kumari, tvam jirno dandena vanchasi, tvam jato bhavasi vishvato mukaha. That Shvetashvatara Upanishad, the Rishi says, O Bhagavan, O Parameshwara, you are the woman, you are the man, tvam stri, tvam pumanasi, kumara utava kumari, you are the kumara, the boy, you are the kumari, you are the girl, tvam jirno dandena vanchasi, as an old person walking with a walking stick, you are that old man. Suddenly the Rishi notes a bird flying, a parrot, Neelaf patango harito lohitaksha, a crow, a green parrot. Suddenly the clouds gather in the sky and started showering. It is all you, O Shiva, O Mahadeva. Ritavaha, Samudraha, all the season, weather change, sometimes we say weather change. The Rishi says that weather is Ishvara. That climate is Ishvara. Cold is Brahmanubhava. Heat is Brahmanubhava. Physical pain is Brahmanubhava. Pleasure is Brahmanubhava. Sleep is Brahmanubhava. Hunger is Brahmanubhava. And food is also experience of God. Activity is God. Laziness is also God. He has manifested as everything here. As long as you see it as different, you get bound. The moment you dehypnotize yourself, Maya has put you into a hypnosis. Now you resolve to wake up. You dehypnotize yourself by this knowledge of oneness, that Advaita Jnana. And you no more get into moods. Guna Vaishamyam means moods. Sometimes you feel meditating. Sit for 9 hours. Next day gone. Feel like restless to do this, do that. And another day, whole day sleep. Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas. Guna Vaishamyam. Imbalanced moods. No balance. Yavat syad guna vaishavyam. When the gunas are not balanced, the person is not a dependable person. Such people we should not go near. They will be very emotional, very affectionate. Next they will become moody. Today they will lick you with love. Tomorrow they will bite you with aversion. You cannot depend upon such people because they are imbalanced. The balance is yoga. Balance, samatvam yoga uchyate. That balance is needed. And then you should know that only one truth exists. There is no duality. Then you dehypnotize yourself, then you become free. No paratantrium. It's all Bhagavata, no? And after that, when you live in the world, then also you never get attached. Guneshu vartamanepi dehajeshu anabhavritaha gunairna badhyate dehi badhyate va katham vibho. Uddhava is asking, although the Atman is ever free, O Bhagavan, then how does a person gets bound? How does samsara happen? Vedanti, they say there is no bondage. Ramana Maharshi always used to say that. People will go to him and say, I have this difficulty, I have that difficulty. Constantly Maharshi used to say, you are the self. You are not the body. Constantly used to remember yourself, that alone is needed. Not some elaborate sadhana. Just remember what your real nature is. And people used to ask how to remember. Just recollect what is this I. You constantly have the feeling of I. Even if you sit in a dark room, even in the dark room, you know you exist. I am. You don't need any other light to know your existence. Even to know your body, you need light or sensation. You have to touch. But your existence is not the existence of body. Actually, body's existence, we are not aware. We think body awareness, body consciousness. But are you aware of the liver? Have you ever seen it? Heart? Brain? Not even a surgeon has seen his own liver. Somebody's liver he is operating. His own liver or his own heart, his own kidney, he cannot see. Or some other method he has to use to see that. But the only thing that we are constantly aware is our own existence. Na abhavo vidyate sataha. As Gita says, the existence, experience, consciousness, I. This is not philosophy. This is simple truth. That is why I give you a method. Go and sit in a dark room. And there is one light which you cannot put off. And that light is this feeling of I am. Aham, aham, me. This I, existence, I am. Is this I, what is it? It is Swayam Prakasha. It needs no other light. It is Swayam Prakasha. It is there now. And of course in dream we know it exists. The body drops off. When you go to the dream state, the body is not there. The mind is operating. You sleep in a dark room, but it is very well lit dream. Where from the light? We call it Taijasa. And there also the I continues. And next, in the deep sleep state, the body is not there, the mind is also not there, images are not there, I thought also is blown out. Right? Are you in Sushupti? Deep sleep? No. Just make a move and contemplate that state where the I thought is also blown out. Yet, you wish to stay in that state. If somebody comes and wakes you up, say, leave me, I want to go there. That means, devoid of the I thought, you are there. That state gives you a great insight that the I thought is not you. Without this I sense, individual sense, you are fully there, and that fullness is what which shines forth in the dark room. It is not the I thought. It is not the body or mind. It is not the individual sense. Something which is stable, which remains in the waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, changeless, that self-effulgent lamp of awareness, that Atma Deepa. It is shining forth without any change, and it is ever free. It is Brahman, it is God, it is Ishvara. The Ishvara that whom we are searching has already happened, is here. We are so much engaged in the world, so we are not able to recognize Him. Naishkarmya bhavena vivarjidagama swayam prakashaya namaskaromi. As Bhagavata says, reach the state of Naishkarmya bhava and give up all the learning also. Just hold on to this existence, this awareness. You are free. And that is sannyasa dharma, says Bhagavata. Naishkarmya bhavena vivarjita agama. Agama is also given up. The karma kanda is also given up. Swayam prakasha. You hold on to only one thing which is self-effulgent. Swayam prakasha within you. It is ever free. Once you know the Atman, you know Atman is never bound. This story of bondage and then release from it, it is all stories only. Baddho mukta iti vyakhyam, the highest Advaita Vedanta. Here Krishna says, Baddho mukta iti vyakhya gunato mena vastutaha gunasya maya mulatvat name moksho na bandhanam. He says neither bondage nor freedom. Because the Atman is ever free. The very knowledge of the Atman is freedom. It is Jivan Mukti. This saying that now he was bound, slowly he will become liberated, it is all just for the beginners. Yathartya tvanmayasyeva himamana vibho vastuto bandha vimokshau Maya vidya tanubhyam tavatu virachitau swapna bodhopamautau Baddhe jivad vimuktim gatavati chabhida tavati tavadekam bhunkte dehadrumastaha vishaya phalarasan naparo nirvyathatma. This beautiful shloka from Narayanam. Actually, our real nature is eternal freedom. Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Swabhava. Actually, there is no bondage for the truth, the self. The mind conceives bondage, just like the clouds are brought by the wind and the clouds cover the sun, and the same wind takes the clouds away. Like that, the mind conceives bondage, the same mind by Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana becomes so pure, and the knowledge blazes forth there. Then it tells, I am free. This bandha, mukti, shoka, moha, sukam, dukkam, and even this idea of this body is only like a dream. If I have to think about you, I have to think about you in this form. But my own existence, I can never conceive with this form. If I have to see me with this body, I have to take a photo or mirror. That too only the front side, not the back side. So the body has only that much impingement on me. Really, my constant experience is this chit, this awareness. It is that simple. Here Bhagavan says, hey Uddhava, I have two aspects. One is Vidya, the other is Avidya. Avidya makes you bound, Vidya releases you. If you more and more involved in worldly things and worldly knowledge, you get bound. The more and more you contact sages and saints and associate with them and be in the satsang and gather this knowledge, you will be free. And there is a story, or we can call allegory, pictured in the Upanishad. There is a tree and there is a branch. Of course, every tree will have a branch. And in that branch, there is a bird sitting with golden color. And nearby that bird, suddenly another bird emerges out of that bird. It comes out of that bird. It is also of that golden color. And that bird looks here, there, and he sees a sweet fruit. It tastes that fruit. It likes that fruit. It moves little to the lower spots in that tree. There also fruits are available. It starts eating one by one another fruit, another fruit, another fruit. And in the process, its color becomes dim, dim, dim. It becomes copper colored. Slowly it becomes iron colored. Very dark, very crude it becomes. And suddenly one day it gets a bitter fruit. When it tastes that bitter fruit, it feels, why this fruit is so bitter? It tries with another one, that is also bitter. Then it becomes dispassionate and looks at the bird above. It is not eating. It is shining, radiant like a golden bird. As a golden bird, it is sitting peaceful, calm. This is the picture. So it moves towards that bird. In between, it will try again a sweet fruit. Then it will stop moving. But when it gets bitter fruit, it moves. Our life is also like that. It's a very mystery, You can connect this Adam and Eve story with this. But there both of them eat fruit. Somehow the story got corrupted. Both of them start eating the fruit. Bird is not eating. Dvitiyaha nirannopi balena bhuyan. He is niranna, not eating. But he is strong, he is fresh, he is peaceful, he is sitting unaffected. The other one, the great eater, goes from bondage to bondage. He gets corrupted. At last, more and more bitter fruit he gets. More fortunate he is, he will get bitter fruits. That is what life is. More and more happy things happen in your life, you forget God. You ask why God is giving us so much pain, suffering. Only when suffering, pain comes, once in a while you will call, oh Bhagavan, oh Bhagavan, oh Bhagavan. Otherwise, only good things happen. Your Nama Japa will be like a machine. Now they have that thing which chants always Nama. Like that you will be chanting. But when you have sorrow, when there is suffering, when there is pain, it's a spiritual process. Slowly only you will understand. Without suffering, nobody will attain God. You might attain God without pleasure, but not without pain. Swami Tapovan Maharaj used to quote a shloka. We don't know from where he took or he wrote it. Na dukkam dukkaya syaditi shruti madrigihi. Dukkam yadyad anupraptam taporupena bhavayet. When sorrow visits you, you take it as austerity. Going through it, you take it as austerity, because sorrow is not coming to you simply to make you suffer. It comes to you to purify you, to cleanse you, to give you dispassion, vairagya, and to make you established in the self. Only it can help you. So when suffering comes, it is a spiritual process. It is a burning and molding process. It is like a blacksmith burning the iron. Then he dips in cold water. Then heats it. Like that, Bhagavan also sometimes does with us. And if you persist in asking him, why are you doing, Bhagavan? I am suffering. Sometimes, we will say it's all his Leela. That is what we say, it's Leela. It might be Leela for him, but I am suffering. He is sporting, but I am suffering. Okay. Bhagavan will say, okay. Who is suffering? I am suffering, Bhagavan. Who is this I? Bhagavan will ask, who is this I who is suffering? Then you go deep within and ask, who is this I? Who is this I? You find no I, only Bhagavan is there. Then you cannot answer because he is suffering. Through you also he is enjoying, he is suffering. No enjoyer, no sufferer. No ego has no existence. It is he alone exists. He is my Atman. He is going through pain, he is going through pleasure. Everything is gone, is experienced by him alone. So he alone exists. So you cannot fight with him these things. But when suffering comes, you move more and more near the truth. Just like this bird. And at last you recognize, Jushtam yada pasyatyanyamisham tasya mahimanamiti vita shokaha. When you see that adorable bird which remains udasina, untouched by suffering, you realize, I am that. Dva suparna sayuja sakhaya samanam vriksham parishasvajate tayoranyah pippalam swadvatti anashrannanyo abhijakashiti samane vrikshe purusho nimagno anishaya shochati muhyamanaha jushtam yada pasyatyanyamisham tasya mahimanamiti vita shokaha. Vita shokaha, that is the essence. Last, the person is free of all suffering, all grief. Suparnavetau sadrishau sakhayau yadrichayitau kritanidau cha vrikshe ekastayoho khadadi pippalannam anyo niranno pibalena bhuyan atmanamanyam cha saveda vidvan apippalado nadu pippaladaha yo avidyayayuk sacha satu nityabaddaha vidyamayo yah satu vidyamayo yas satu nityamuktaha. One is avidyaya yuk. This ego is always associated with ignorance. It is eternally bound. The ego can never become free. Once you know what this ego is, you find that the ego is unreal, and what exists underneath the substratum is eternally free. It is nityamukta, never bound. Darkness can never reside in sun. Only we have night, no night in sun. Suppose somebody gives you a phone call from sun, they will say we have no night. It is always light. Like that, in the real nature we are always effulgent. No ignorance is possible in the real nature because we always feel the existence of our self. So it is absolutely free, pure. This is the teaching which Bhagavan is giving Uddhava. Uddhava, you are never bound. All this talking about bondage is only for the kindergarten. In the real state, once you listen from the teacher and know that the self is eternally free, you will attain bliss. Dehastopi na dehastaha. Even though you are in the body, you will be disembodied. You have no association with the body. Swapnad yatotthita. Just like a person waking up from the dream. he no more associates with dream. Like that, when a person knows that I am not the body, he no more associates with the body. But the ignorant person, even after death, will associate with the body. Adehastopi dehasthaha. Even without the body, that is why we call it ghost. Body is gone, but still it considers association with the body. Adehastopi dehastaha kumatihi swapnadrikiyatha. It is just like a dream. So, Uddhava, no, just do some self-enquiry, Atma-vichara, you will be free. So this, I don't know whether it is very high dose Vedanta, but still we will continue tomorrow. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam, Govinda Govinda, Janaki Kanta Smaranam, Jai Jai Rama Rama, Hara Namah Parvati Pataye, Hara Hara Mahadeva.